Quotes from John Calvin. From the Kindle, Deep Christian Quotes and Bible Verses. First quote. I insist not that the life of the Christian shall breathe nothing but the perfect gospel, though this is to be desired, and ought to be attempted. I insist not so strictly on evangelical perfection, as to refuse to acknowledge as a Christian any man who has not attained it. In this way all would be excluded from the Church, since there is no man who is not far removed from this perfection. While many, who have made but little progress, would be undeservedly rejected. What then? Let us set this before our eye as the end at which we ought constantly to aim. Let it be regarded as the goal towards which we are to run. For you cannot divide the matter with God, undertaking part of what His Word enjoins, and omitting part at pleasure. Second quote. No one will travel so badly as not daily to make some degree of progress. This, therefore, let us never cease to do, that we may daily advance in the way of the Lord. And let us not despair because of the slender measure of success. How little soever the success may correspond with our wish, our labor is not lost when today is better than yesterday, provided with true singleness of mind we keep our aim, and aspire to the goal, not speaking flattering things to ourselves, nor indulging our vices, but making it our constant endeavor to become better, until we attain to goodness itself. Third quote. As if it had been said, that the spiritual commencement of a good life is when the internal affections are sincerely devoted to God, in the cultivation of holiness and justice. Fourth quote. There is no worse screen to block out the Spirit than confidence in our own intelligence. Fifth quote. We shall never be clothed with the righteousness of Christ except we first know assuredly that we have no righteousness of our own. Sixth quote. God is not limited to any person, but calls freely whomsoever He pleases, and bestows on those who are called whatever rewards He thinks fit. Seventh quote. The pastor ought to have two voices, one, for gathering the sheep, and another, for warding off and driving away wolves and thieves. The Scripture supplies him with the means of doing both. Eighth quote. Wherefore all theology, when separated from Christ, is not only vain and confused, but is also mad, deceitful, and spurious. For, though the philosophers sometimes utter excellent sayings, yet they have nothing but what is short-lived, and even mixed up with wicked and erroneous sentiments. Ninth quote. It behooves us to accomplish what God requires of us, even when we are in the greatest despair respecting the results. Tenth quote. Our prayer must not be self-centered. It must arise not only because we feel our own need as a burden we must lay upon God, but also because we are so bound up in love for our fellow men that we feel their need as acutely as our own. To make intercession for men is the most powerful and practical way in which we can express our love for them. 11th quote. If during the whole course of our life we seek and follow, we shall at length attain it, when relieved from the infirmity of flesh we are admitted to full fellowship with God. 12th quote. We must remember that Satan has his miracles too. Thanks,